Time is money, but how you use your time when it comes to investing could be the difference between just getting by and truly thriving. Whether you're in your 20s, 30s, or 40s, each decade brings its own set of challenges and opportunities. But no matter where you are in life, there's a strategy that can make it work for you. In this video, I will show you the best dividend strategies for your age group, showing you how to make the most of every moment. If you're in your 20s, you might feel like you're racing to catch up with just a little cash to spare, but don't worry, I've got a plan for that. In your 30s, your income might be more stable, but the stakes are higher, and I'll show you how to balance growth and security. And if you're in your 40s, it's all about securing your financial future while still allowing your investments to grow. I will show you what stocks should be in your portfolio, how much investment you need in each age group, and still hit $1 million valuation when you retire. Alright, before we dive into the strategies for each age group, let's make sure we're on the same page about what dividend investing actually is. If you're new to this, don't worry, I'll keep it simple. Dividend investing is all about buying shares in companies that pay you a portion of their profits. These payments, known as dividends, are typically distributed on a regular basis, quarterly for most companies. The beauty of dividend investing is that it provides a form of passive income. You're literally getting paid just for holding on to your shares. And the more consistently the company pays out, the more you earn. Sounds pretty sweet, right? But there's more to it. One of the key benefits of dividend investing is the power of compounding. This is where things get exciting. When you reinvest your dividends, meaning instead of taking the cash, you use it to buy more shares, you start to grow your investment exponentially. Over time, you're earning dividends on an increasingly larger number of shares, which leads to even more dividends. It's like a snowball effect, and it's one of the reasons why starting early can make a massive difference. Something you will see when we look at the future projections for different age groups. Now that we've covered the basics, you're ready to dive into the specific strategies that work best for your 20s, 30s, and 40s. Let's start with what to do if you're in your 20s and just getting started. This is the decade where you're likely just starting out. Maybe you've got student loans to pay off or you're working your full-time job. Cash might be tight, but that doesn't mean you can't start building a solid investment foundation. Meet Alex, a 25-year-old who's new to investing. Alex doesn't have a lot of disposable income, just about $25 to $30 a week that they can afford to put aside. Now, that might not sound like much, but the key here is consistency. Even small, regular payments can grow significantly over time thanks to compounding. In your 20s, you have something incredibly valuable on your side: time. This means you can afford to take on more risk compared to someone older. The strategy here is all about aggressive growth. Since you've got decades ahead of you before retirement, your focus should be on growth-oriented dividend stocks. These are companies that might not pay out the highest dividends right now, but have strong potential for dividend growth over time. Your strategy should focus on low-cost, growth-oriented stocks in sectors like technology and healthcare. These industries are known for innovation and have high growth potential, making them perfect for a young investor looking to maximize returns over the long haul. These areas offer potential for substantial growth, though they also come with more risk. But remember, in your 20s, you can afford to take on this risk because you have plenty of time to recover from any market downturns. So how does Alex get started with just $25 to $30 a week? The first step is to take advantage of fractional shares. This allows Alex to buy portions of expensive stocks that they otherwise wouldn't be able to afford. For example, instead of needing hundreds of dollars to buy a single share of a tech giant, Alex can purchase a fraction of a share with their weekly budget. Over the course of a month, Alex is investing about $100 to $120. This might not seem like much, but with the power of compound returns and dividend reinvestment, this small amount can grow significantly. Alex should also consider setting up a dividend reinvestment plan, or DRIP. This way, any dividends earned are automatically reinvested into more shares, helping to build that snowball effect over time. A typical portfolio for someone like Alex might include a mix of small to mid-cap stocks that have room to grow. For example, Alex might allocate 40% of their portfolio to tech stocks, 30% to healthcare, 20% to consumer discretionary stocks, and 10% to emerging markets. This allocation is aggressive, but is designed to maximize growth potential. Here's the portfolio for Alex. iShares Semiconductor ETF takes 40% of the portfolio. Next, Vanguard Healthcare Index Fund ETF makes up 30% of the portfolio. Then we have Fidelity MSCI Consumer Discretionary Index ETF, taking up 20%. iShares Core MSCI Emerging Markets ETF rounds out the portfolio with 10%. So what does this portfolio mean for Alex? Current dividend yield 1.05%. Average dividend growth over 10 years 12.85%. Average share price appreciation over 10 years 14.33%. Now let's talk about what Alex can expect in the future if he invests $25 every week to this portfolio, which equated to about $1,200 yearly contribution. After 10 years, this portfolio could grow to $24,713. Fast forward 20 years, and we're looking at $126,075. And after 30 years, Alex could see this portfolio reach a solid $537,098. The total value added to the portfolio will be $501,098. That includes $476,402 in capital appreciation and $24,696 from reinvested dividends. You can leave it for another 10 years and that amount will double. You would be able to retire with a $1 million portfolio because you have time on your side. The takeaway? Even if you're starting small, just $25 to $30 a week, you can build a strong portfolio by focusing on growth, reinvesting dividends, and being patient. The earlier you start, the more time your investments have to grow, setting you up for significant gains in the future. Now, let's shift our focus to what dividend investing should look like in your 30s. By this stage, you've probably got a bit more stability in your life. You might have a steady job, possibly a family, and some disposable income that you can put toward your financial future. For this, we will take an example of Taylor, who's in their mid-30s and has been working for a good decade now. Taylor has managed to save up around $10,000 to $15,000 and is ready to start investing more seriously in dividend-paying stocks. Taylor also has the capacity to contribute an additional $100 to $200 per month to their portfolio. But in 30s, he has 20 years of time to retire. So in your 30s, your investment strategy should begin to balance with your income. While you still want to see your investment grow, it's also a good time to start focusing on generating some income from dividends. This doesn't mean shifting entirely to high-yield stocks, but rather finding a sweet spot between growth and income. Taylor's strategy will involve a balanced growth and income approach. This means maintaining exposure to growth stocks, especially in sectors like technology and consumer discretionary, but also adding more stable, dividend-paying stocks that provide a regular income. Taylor should start with an initial investment of $10,000. Additionally, he should contribute $100 per month. These regular contributions are key to continuing to build the portfolio and taking advantage of dollar-cost averaging, which helps mitigate the impact of market volatility. Taylor's portfolio will be more diversified than Alex's, reflecting a shift towards balancing risk and income. A typical allocation might look like this: 40% in dividend growth stocks, 30% in higher yield stocks, such as utilities or REITs, and 30% to healthcare. For this, ProShares S&P 500 Dividend Aristocrats ETF, or NOBL, makes up 40% of the portfolio. Next, VHT, Vanguard Healthcare Index Fund ETF, takes up 30%. Finally, American Tower Corporation, or AMT, rounds out the portfolio with another 30%. A portfolio of these stocks will have a current dividend yield of 2.04%. Average dividend growth over 10 years, 14.59%. Average share price appreciation over 10 years, 8.76%. If you invest $10,000 followed by a monthly contribution of $100 or $1,200 per year, here's what the future projections look like. After 1 year, Taylor's portfolio might be worth around $12,280. Fast forward 10 years and it could grow to $50,223. 20 years in, Taylor could be looking at $200,585. And after 30 years, this portfolio might reach a staggering $995,083. That's nearly $1 million. By the time Taylor is in their 60s, this portfolio could be generating $87,890 in annual dividends, or $7,324 in monthly dividends, which could be a huge help in retirement. As we move into the 40s, the focus of dividend investing starts to shift significantly. This is the decade where you're likely thinking more seriously about retirement and financial security. The emphasis now is less on aggressive growth and more on stability and generating reliable income. For this, we will take an example of Jordan, who's in their mid-40s. Jordan has been investing for some time and has accumulated a decent amount of savings, around $100,000 to $150,000, which is close to the average median savings for someone in their 40s. Jordan is looking to make the most of this nest egg by focusing on income generation and protecting capital as retirement approaches, most likely in 10 or 20 years from now. In your 40s, the investment strategy should focus heavily on stability and income. This means prioritizing investments that offer reliable dividend payments with minimal risk to the principal. While growth is still important, the primary goal is to ensure that the investments can provide a steady stream of income, especially as you get closer to retirement. Jordan's strategy will involve a larger allocation to dividend-paying blue-chip stocks, dividend aristocrats, and bonds. This means NOBL is a good option for Jordan also. This time, he will be allocating 20% of his investment to this ETF, 40% to a REIT like extra space storage for regular income, and 40% for secure return on bonds. A portfolio of these stocks will have a current dividend yield 2.35%, average dividend growth over 10 years 9%, average share price appreciation over 10 years 6.88%. Let's take a look at where this portfolio could go. After just 1 year, Jordan's portfolio will grow to $163,845. In 5 years, it will be valued at $234,327. Fast forward 10 years, and it has the potential to be valued at $370,623. After 20 years, we're talking about $967,533, and this time paying around $30,686 in annual dividends, or about $2,557 monthly. Over those 20 years, the total value added would be $817,533, with $565,317 coming from capital appreciation and $252,216 from reinvested dividends. Want to know how to reduce your taxable income in each age group? Click the video on the screen to find out how to keep 30% of your taxable income for yourself.